Welcome to Walker Acres. I'm Jackie, the Gen Xer.
And I'm Linda, the baby boomer.
And today we are on the property because we have some things to take care of. Of course, there's always work to do with homesteading. So we are going to set up a weather station. This is going to be very key for us, especially for gardening, because we need to know, when we're going to have rain, when there's going to be, the sun, direction is coming from, wind gust, all of those kind of things. So I have this Sainlogic smart weather station here that I'm going to set up for us to just do a quick test on, because we won't be able to leave it out here on our property just yet, because it does require Wi-Fi, and we don't have Wi-Fi set up out here yet because we're still in the process of building and everything's not completely hooked up. Although we do have an electric pole over there, we cannot set up our Wi-Fi router and things like that because we're not out here on the property 24/7. So we're going to go ahead and just set this up to check it out to see if it's going to work for us, and then we're going to use it back at the trailer until we do move out to the property in a few months. The Sainlogic comes with the weather station, a pole, the base, some accessories, the control system, and detailed instructions. It'll probably be easier to see. Once you do plug it up, this console lights up. We're going to lift up the legs on it to set it up. Now that it's lit, we will go ahead and do some settings. The time is incorrect, the date is incorrect, and it is already recording the temperature on the inside of the house. It doesn't have the outdoor temperatures, I don't have that set up yet. And then it is recording the pressure and the dew point. Okay, if you hold the channel button for 5 seconds, so this is scanning for a signal. We're supposed to leave it on for a few moments, and we'll see what it's gonna do. There it is, the board popped up, and now it is it has to populate the outdoor information. So I have the weather station set up right here, so I just need to push this white button right here for it to connect to the station. So I'm gonna push it. It's flashing red. So now that's populating the information because we've connected this to this. They're communicating with one another now. So right now it has 74 degrees because it's actually indoors, not outdoors. And then it's showing you it's 74 degrees in the house as well. So what I'm gonna do is go set the weather station up outside, and we'll watch and see what the temperature does on the control board. So I'm gonna take this outside. We're gonna set this on the table. Now on here, underneath the solar, it has the direction. So this is east. I don't know if you can tell. I'm gonna turn it this way. East, south, west, and then of course north is right here. All right. So west is this way. So since this says west right here, I need to turn this around. Let's see, this has east right there. So it's facing the east. It has to calibrate, make sure, you know, it's reading the weather and the temperature and all that stuff properly. So now that I have this set up outside, I'm gonna put some weights on this so that it doesn't move. It's slightly breezy here right now, so I don't want it to fall over. I did a simple little weight setup with an 8-pound weight. I put it on top of the platform here, and then I put a 5-pound weight, hooked it right there to the 8-pound weight to weigh this down so it's not going anywhere. So let's go in here and look at the console. All right, now that I've taken the weather station outside, you can see that the temperature increased by 2 degrees and the humidity increased because the station is outside, but this console is still tracking the indoor temperature as well. Now I need to set up the correct date and time here. To set the time and the date and the correct temperature reading and various things on the control system, you will use the 3 buttons that are on the right side of the console. So you will go through setting your date, setting your time, setting whether you want to show seconds or the day of the week, and then the year, as well as if you want to read your temperature in Celsius or Fahrenheit. And then the other areas, like for the pressure and the raindrops and all of that, you will just go through the setup of those items until they are to your liking. And now, as you can see, the time and the date is correct. Temperature is 78 degrees outside and it's 74 inside. All right, and this is showing the wind gust right here. So there's a little windy outside. So that's what that's showing. I'm not a meteorologist, so I don't understand the whole pressure and all that, but there is no rain right now, but it must be detecting some moisture in the air. It's showing that there's a dew point of 52.5%. And temperature looks like it's getting higher. I guess because the weather station is just adapting to the outside temperature. It has sunlight at 2:41. I don't know the full meaning of all of that. I have to get used to the weather station and all of the different information that it has here. But it does show that the wind is going northwest. And it says it feels like 79, and it is 79. So I guess the temperature is accurate outside. All right. So this is the weather station. And I'll go through some of the other things in a little bit more detail. So the difference between the screen from indoors and outdoors is big time. You can barely see the screen. I'm trying to show it, but you just can barely see the display when you're outside. That's why I was having a problem while we were at the property. It shows the indoor information. It's showing the pressure, but it's not showing. I came to set up outside and it's not showing the outdoor stuff. So I'm going to reset this button. I just had to go and reset the whole thing. Let's see if it's showing. All right, okay. I reset it and now it's showing everything outside. I mean the outside temperature. So this is how it looks. And y'all know how screens do when you try to record a screen and it makes this little wavy thing. That's what it's doing. It's not doing this in real life, but it is doing it on the screen here. I'm trying to capture it. So it's showing 81 degrees, 58% humidity. It does show what it feels like. 83 degrees. And this is showing half moon because I guess we're at the point of day where the moon is starting to come out. So it's in a half moon phase. And this shows here like the sun and the clouds. So right now it's cloudy. It's not so much sunny anymore. The sun is hiding behind the clouds. And this is good to show what the UV index would be based on the sun. But right now it's 0 because the sun is not out. The display board really shows much better on the inside. And this is probably, like I said, why I was having issues when I was out at the property. Not only that, we were connected to the Wi-Fi. However, I just don't think it had enough time to set up because the Wi-Fi out there is a little bit slower when we connected. But I wanted to show you, looky here. So it's showing that the wind is blowing. I'm trying to see if there's any, it's not showing any gust on the screen here, but it is showing wind at 321 degrees. I actually don't know what that really means. I'll have to study this up a little bit more. But there we go, it's the weather station. And it says really to let it sit for 48 hours to truly calibrate. So I'm gonna think about letting it sit out here for a little bit. Now, once you set up your weather station and you get your controller set up, you will then go to the Weather Seed app and set up your account. Once your account is set up, you become an official weather station that reports information about the weather in your area. It will become a part of this community of weather stations that can be used to report out information to other people about what the weather is like in your area. So if you're looking at the app here, you'll see that it shows your temperature, and you can see all the other little cities or other weather stations around the Metroplex that are reporting information as well. And you'll see that it will, as you scroll through it, that it has information. It collects data for days as far as what the temperature is, what the rain is like. It'll tell you what your battery life is. It shows the rising and the setting of the sun and the moon. Again, it shows the rainfall, and it shows other information that is key to the weather in your area. It shows what it's like on the outside, and then you'll see that it has an indoor tab where you can click on that, and it just shows the same information relative to how the temperature and the environment is on the inside of wherever you are. So as I began to read more and more about the weather station and all the things that it's tracking, I'm like, okay, this could really be great for the garden when we're out there working on the property, once we're there full time, for sure, because it needs Wi-Fi, it needs electricity in order to do the things that it needs to do, because the console has to have electricity. It communicates with the weather station unit here, and it needs the Wi-Fi, so the app pulls all the information that's coming in from the weather station. But what I was thinking is that once we are permanently out on the property, we can get this set up. Hi. How are you? Hey there. Good. Once we are set up, we can definitely track some information. It allows you to set up alarms for all the different things, for the humidity, the rain, the temperature, and everything. It lets you set up alarms for the high and the low. And this is really good for when you're needing to, say if it's too much, if it's going to be too hot, you can go out there and cover up your veggies or whatever it is that you're trying to protect from the heat. If it's you know, the rain is coming in and maybe you need to get something done before it starts pouring down, it'll give you an alarm, because you know, when you're in a house, you're not necessarily paying attention to all of the things that the weather is doing outside. I'll know sometimes we'll be sitting here and then we'll hear the raindrops, and it was like, wait a minute, I didn't know there was going to be any rain coming through because it wasn't in the weather. And as I was reading this, it was talking about how this local weather station setup will give you more accurate, of course, details about the weather where you are, as opposed to watching the news and even weather.com or any of those, because you're picking up on what's happening in your environment at that moment. So that's going to be really great for the garden. I look forward to having access to this information. The console will sit in the house. Don't know where it's going to sit right now, but when you set those alarms, it will beep to let you know that, you know, one of the details that you've set the alarm for have reached the capacity to what you have set the alarm to be. And so you can go and check on that and then make a move and get some things done that you need to prepare for because of the weather situation. So I think it's very, very, very neat. I like it. Let's see, well, that was spinning, and so it was capturing that right here with the gust. It was letting us know that it was going 7.47 miles per hour. So I was trying to capture that. Now it's not spinning anymore because the breeze has stopped. But anyway, it's a pretty neat feature. All in all, I do believe that the Sainlogic SA9 weather station is very valuable for homesteaders. So check it out. We do have a link in our description. Now, if you stayed this long, go ahead and drop a cloud in the comments, because it's cloudy around here. And, and that'll just let me know that you enjoyed the information that I've shared with you here. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, of course, the cloud, and share. We thank you all for being here, because let me tell you, we have grown tremendously within the last 2 weeks. We have grown by thousands of a percentage. And we really appreciate that. It just tells us that, you know, there are other people out there, and y'all tell us all the time that, you know, you're happy to see a Gen X or a boomer out here homesteading, preparing a homestead, you know, changing things up. It's never too late to change homes or what you're doing. So we are moving into another phase of life that we had never envisioned for ourselves, but we are thankful that the Lord has impressed upon us to do so, because we are enjoying the process. So stay tuned. There's so much more to come. I have so much to share with you guys. There's so much footage of the things that have happened in the last 6 months. So stay tuned. Watch out for those notifications to come your way. And until then, have a wonderfully blessed day. And again, thanks for being here. We're Walker Acres.